Hi, my name is Olga, and I'm a parent of a child with autism. His name is Anakin, and he's amazing.
So, how old is your child and what grade is he in?
Anakin is 11 years old, and he's about to be in 6th grade.
What kind of school do they attend?
Anakin, at the moment, is in a special day class. They also call it an SDC class, it's a special education classroom with a special education teacher who has a smaller setting of children. And 4 times a week, Anakin will go into general education classrooms to get inside science and math and art to socialize with your other children as well who do not have any disabilities.
Were there any characteristics that stood out to you when your child was younger?
Yes, Anakin as a child was very, antisocial, and he still struggles to this day with his socialization. He was very afraid, very sensitive to touch, so anyone who would try to hug him or even hold his hand, mom typically enjoys hugging her child, but with Anakin, he would scream as if you were hurting him from just that comfort that you would like to give. He did not want to be touched. He was also very sensitive to loud noises. He hated hearing other children cry. He loved slamming and closing and opening doors shut, cupboards, a lot of repetitive things. He would line up his toys in a certain manner. He wouldn't like it if you moved something in his room without letting him know, or even letting him know it would be an issue. He also did not sleep at all at night, so it wasn't until he was 4 that he actually got a whole night of sleep.
What are some of their interests?
With Anakin, I would say the greatest thing with autism is that with every child is different. Not one child is you can line up to 100 kids on the spectrum, and not one is the same. Yes, they all have similar traits or characteristics, but they all love doing different things. Some may have higher abilities on certain subjects or certain activities, yet another child who may be nonverbal has higher abilities at maybe mathematics, yet can't speak. When you have another child on the spectrum who may be on the higher functioning side and is able to verbalize and speak. So Anakin, he loves to build. At the moment, he's actually very into robotics. He loves to build anything that he can use his hands. He's very hands-on. So he loves art. He loves painting. It's always been his favorite thing to do is draw and paint. But he also loves to build, like I mentioned, robotics. Legos. He also likes to create anything that he can see the final product. I think it just makes him very happy. But also mathematics, I say, would always be his forte as well. He struggles with reading and comprehension, but he loves mathematics.
Do you feel that ASD was explained to you well?
When Anakin was first diagnosed?
Yeah.
When he was first diagnosed, he was 18 months old, and that was in 2008, May 8th, 2008. I had no idea what autism was. I just knew very little because the doctor did refer me to the regional center. She let me know. She asked me to fill out a paper asking questions. It was like a checklist, yes, no, and surprisingly, I checked off yes to most of them. So, of course, she was concerned about autism, and when I saw the title of the questionnaire, I did look up what autism was, and it wasn't until after the evaluation with the psychologist and when he was diagnosed that, she gave me very minimal, and I think that was what was most, as a parent, discouraging, because you're handed a pamphlet, and basically, Anakin, when he was first diagnosed, was diagnosed as a severely autistic, and at that moment he was nonverbal. So the doctor mentioned to me it's very likely that he will never speak, never write, and he will never want to socialize. So as a mother, when you hear that, it's just devastating. And it wasn't until afterwards, every night I would just stay up till 2, 3 in the morning researching and finding out what autism really was, and taking that time to reach out to other mothers who also were experiencing and were living with a child on the spectrum as well. But I do wish that the psychologist would have explained it to me more.
What do you find most challenging about raising a child with autism?
It has its phases. I can say that I want to say it does get better, but along with uh, growth in different areas, there's always challenges. Anakin is now speaking at the moment. He still does struggle with socializing. He's very rote. He's very, if you ask him a question, he might get uncomfortable by the third, fourth question, and he gets very anxious. So when he's in places with people he may not know or new, he's experiencing a new place, he gets very frustrated, very anxious. So it is very hard when you're in public location. And I think that the most difficult thing is it's not so much children, because children are very honest with you. Other children who observe the obvious, of course, they see Anakin doing certain behaviors or clapping or covering his ears, and the kids are innocent. But I think the hardest thing is when the parents don't understand. When another parent is looking at you, shaking your head because your child is not behaving or is not listening. So I think the hardest thing is informing and educating other parents. But of course, the biggest challenge at the moment has been Anakin's anxiety. It's just been, and since he can't really verbalize exactly what he is feeling, he can only give us very limited. He gets frustrated. So as a parent, you want to help your child, and you're trying to look for different sources: occupational therapy, speech therapy, even speech, what is it called, psychiatrist, talk therapy. And it's hard because you don't really understand what your child is feeling, yet you want to help them feel better or to achieve, because you know that they can achieve so much, yet due to their inability to express themselves, which is what causes anxiety in a lot of the children, especially Anakin.
What advice can you give to other parents raising a child with autism or Asperger's?
I would say to never give up. Every day comes with its challenges. I mean, you go through days where you feel that you're climbing up a mountain, and then all of a sudden the next day you just fall right down. So I mean, it can be very discouraging. It can be very tiring. But I would say the best advice: don't give up. You're not alone. There's many parents out there, and be aware of your resources. If you don't go looking to see what help you can give your child, what therapies there's available, what activities are available for your children, you'll be surprised as to how much activities there is for our children. There are sports, there is programs, camps, surfing. As a parent of a child with a disability, I can understand where a lot of parents, instead of bringing their child out into the community, will keep them in and not take them out to public because, one, they're embarrassed, two, they don't like the stairs, or three, it's a very stressful situation. But I would say get out of your comfort zone. Take your child out as much as you can. Find the things he enjoys, but also don't stop pushing and striving, because your child his capabilities are endless, but you just have to make sure to keep pushing and keep trying. And as yourself too, get together with other parents who also understand.
Is there anything else important to you and your family you would like to share? Or just in general, like anyone?
I would say autism many times, especially at the beginning, can be, like I had mentioned earlier, discouragement. But as you grow, it almost becomes it's a hidden blessing. So autism has its many blessings. And I can honestly do say that faith has come a long way with me, and as far as pushing me and inspiring me, but also coming together as a family. It is sad, the percentage and the how would I say, the occurrence of divorce in families with children who are on the spectrum is very high. So, and it's sad because, I mean, if anything, a mom and a dad should come together and, parent their child and strive to give this child the most wholesome, loving, and caring childhood if possible. But it's hard. It's very stressful. But I would say just keep persevering, keep trying, keep pushing, and you'll be amazed at the many things that your children are capable of doing.
Okay, thank you for sharing.